If you had a narcissist as a parent, why would you want to have experienced that, and how can you heal from all of that trauma? If you don't know me, my name is Tracy, and I do a type of hypnosis where after looking at a past life with my clients, we look at what they do in between lives, and then we talk to their higher self to get answers, guidance, wisdom, and all kinds of healing. In a recent session, my client's father was very abusive. He was a narcissist and really controlled her and her mother financially. He basically held them prisoners in addition to doing all of the normal things that narcissists do to make you feel like you're completely worthless. The most difficult thing for my client was watching how her father treated her mother. Her mother attempted suicide at one point, and she was there for all of it. So as you could imagine, she's holding a lot of trauma in her body and wanted to know, did I choose this man to be my father? And if so, why would I have done that? And how do I get healing for this? So we took it to her higher self and found out that yes, she did indeed choose this man to be her father in this lifetime. And when I asked her higher self if it was her ego or her personality that chose it, her higher self said, of course, it was not. It was a choice her soul made. And that her personality or her ego has a very difficult time understanding why in the world would she have ever chosen to have a father like this. But again, her higher self reminded her it was not a personality decision. It was made long before she incarnated into this lifetime. Her higher self said the whole thing always made her feel unsafe, and that still, even to this day, she feels like she's always on high alert. And reading from my screen, this is the healing I asked her higher self to give her. I said, she has been subjected to an incredible amount of emotional, mental, and physical abuse and neglect. Without it being too much or too overwhelming for her body, are you able to bring in a crew of angels and healing masters into the room she's at now and work as a team to go through her entire body and pull every shred of shock, trauma, and drama from her body and her aura, from all of those instances of abuse and neglect one by one, just like pulling out porcupine quills from a dog who got into a tiff with a porcupine? Send all of that pain, shock, trauma, and drama to Creator's light, and then pour in divine white healing light into every place where that shock and trauma was removed? Her higher self said yes, and described it looking like a strobe light going all over her body, like a soft tornado, just sucking things out. And after a pause, said it was done and that now she was glowing again. I asked her higher self, what is it in her that needs to be healed, or what does she need to understand in order to be able to accept him for who he is? And her higher self said, she's coming to terms with understanding that he is who he is. He's not going to change, and there's nothing for her to do other than accept it if she wants to have peace in her life. Having non-acceptance, in other words, is not going to change him, and it's not going to bring her peace with non-acceptance. Her higher self said she feels conflicted over the fact that some people have wonderful lives and then others like her don't have wonderful lives, and wants to know why her soul would put her in this kind of pain. So I asked herself, well, why did her soul choose this life? And this is what her higher self said. To grow, to become more fearless. If she survived that, then she can do more stuff. To experience the duality of life. So I asked, why did her soul want to experience duality? And just as a side note, duality is contrast, experiencing opposites in order to learn and grow. And duality is a huge factor on planet Earth. It helps us to learn. So her higher self said she wanted to experience duality because it shows you that you always have a choice of who you want to become. Even in the darkest of circumstances, you can still choose and find and follow the light. To continue working on forgiving her father and releasing the anger, her higher self said she just needs to learn to let it go. Let it go, and with time, it will get easier. So this goes back to a lot of the other teaching that I have on my videos, that when we have non-acceptance for someone else's behavior, it does not change them. Neither does it bring us peace or resolution in our lives. It keeps us stuck. We cannot force anyone else to change. We can either remove them from our lives or learn to accept them. But either way, acceptance is the only thing that will bring us peace. It doesn't mean that it's okay that they acted the way they did. Of course, it doesn't mean that. It just means that we understand it is what it is, and nothing we say, think, do, or feel will cause them to change. Not even trying to wait for an apology that you may never get. If you're waiting for that, you're still keeping yourself stuck and being stubborn. That's what our soul calls us when we refuse to give up and not forgive, and when we refuse to accept and wait for an apology that may never come. Our soul in higher self sessions says that we are stubborn. And it's okay. We don't have to forgive. We can repeat this same lesson with others in our life, or keep repeating other lives that have similar circumstances until we get it. So what about you? Who in your life do you need to work on letting go of forgiveness, letting go of anger, and realizing that you're only harming yourself, and that nothing you say or do or how you feel is going to cause them to change?